companies reopening as they emerge from what has been a downfall in activity financially throughout the country and across the world when it comes to commerce and people spending money. Today I'm going to be talking about AMC theaters. They've announced today, it's everywhere on every major news outlet, that they are reopening some of their, sorry about that, UPS just scrolled up. Guys, this is live TV. They're reopening some of their movie theaters back up after being closed for close to 5 months now, and offering movie theater prices very cheaply. They're saying you can buy a ticket now for 15 cents because they're celebrating their centennial. So buying a ticket at a 1920s ticket price, yes, 15 cents, they're saying you can purchase movie tickets when they reopen some of their theaters up in the coming weeks, which is unheard of in my lifetime in regards to buying movie tickets. Let's see here. Hey, Pablo. Hey, guys. Hey, everyone. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let me wait for the UPS guy to move on. So yes, they're the biggest news chain, the biggest movie chain in the country, right? And they're celebrating their 100th year anniversary by giving you a price on tickets that you would have paid back in 1920. Now, what's interesting about this is that, okay, great. We have come to enjoy cinema from the comfort of our own homes because we've been forced to, right? COVID has definitely, hey, Mark, has definitely caused us to live our lives a little bit differently, right? It has caused us to enjoy the things that we once enjoyed before a little bit differently, and that is movies. And nothing is as American as cinema. We love our football, we love baseball, we love our sports, we love our movies. But yet, companies and studios like Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, you name it, they're releasing these movies that would have been in theaters straight to home, online, at prices that are kind of crazy, that are $30 to watch Mulan, $30 to watch a movie you would have went to the movie theater and only paid $15 for. So my question is, how do we feel about this? And are we comfortable going back into theaters to watch movies now? A lot of people aren't. Much like restaurants, people are still very leery about being in public and being in enclosed spaces with other people due, of course, to COVID. What do you guys think? Let's sound off below. Let me get the comments going. And is the price of 15 cents enough to entice you to leave the comfort of your own home to go watch a movie? They're saying that a third of their movie theaters will be open by September 3rd for the release of Tenet, which is the new Christopher Nolan film that stars Chadwick Boseman. That's been pushed. I'm sorry, not Chadwick Boseman. John David Washington. That has been pushed back multiple times since it was supposed to be released this spring. They have suffered greatly in regards to finances. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. Pablo, he prefers to go back. Amber, yeah, Roswell Pasadena is setting up one during this time. Yep. And California especially, which is a huge hub for AMC. A lot of people love their movies in LA. People are wanting to get back into the cinemas, but AMC has suffered greatly, down 561 million this quarter as they reported, and down 99% over last year's revenue coming into June of this year. So they can definitely stand to rebound from people going back into theaters. I don't know how I feel about that. One, I think the pricing is great. Fine. If I can see a movie for 15 cents, that's great. I wish that would be the norm. However, we've become so accustomed to watching things that are in home now that is the movie going experience dead? And was it ever really that special? I mean, those are questions you want to ask yourself. Pablo, yeah. Pablo, you say you prefer theaters, but no way I'm going back anytime soon. And why is that? I feel like some people feel they can go back out and be in spaces like restaurants and movie theaters because we've been educated so thoroughly on how to protect ourselves from COVID. So why is it that you are a little apprehensive, Pablo? Hey, Drew. It makes sense that people are eager to return to some kind of normal, right? Some kind of normalcy. And what does that look like? Nothing is ever going to be the way it was before, at least in my own opinion. I think that we need to jettison the want and the notion that things are going to go back 100% to the way they were before. And that includes anything from going to the gym to going out to dinner, to hanging out, to places of worship. COVID doesn't seem like it's slowing down. It's only ramping up, as we've seen with day over day increases in cases of people being infected, deaths across the world and here in the country. So I don't see and I don't foresee, in my own opinion, things going back to any kind of normal. But I will say this: if movie theaters can offer an escape for people, I'm all for that. AMC, I think that they're doing the right thing by not opening up all their theaters. They have 600 across the country, and I don't think that they're being irresponsible by opening up a third of those. So I think it might be a good move for them. It's definitely going to be a lucrative move for them for sure. Now it's Netflix partying, commenting virtual parties on movies. Yeah, that's a great point. I think that when you go to the movies, it's the whole experience, right? It's the immersive experience. It's the IMAX. It's the what, Dolby surround sound. You name it. There's some kind of enhanced audio or enhanced sensory experience that goes into watching movies now. So I get why people want to get back into theaters. And also, I think there has been so many movies that would have come out that would have been huge blockbusters this year. Black Widow, for instance, that was going to be Scarlett Johansson's first standalone Marvel flick that was highly touted at the beginning of the year, did not see the light of day. According to reports, it may bow on Disney Plus soon. Also, you have Mulan and a lot of other things that were supposed to be big that didn't come out as well. But I don't agree with paying $29.99 to download it on iTunes. I don't agree with paying any beyond $20 to see it on Netflix. I think that's a cash grab, and it's a little disrespectful. What do you guys think? Hmm. Yeah. I think what's really cool and what we're seeing a lot of in Los Angeles is the drive-in, the return of the drive-in, where people can stay in the comforts of their cars, they can social distance in their cars and still see great movies. I know in Woodland Hills, California, on Canoga, they were actually doing that, and it was packed. I think that's a great way to have that escape cinema movie experience. And I think that'll be awesome for big studios as well to jump on that bandwagon and have their movies shown there. I'm not sure. I mean, of course, there's negotiations, there's contracts like with Universal and Cinemark, Universal and AMC, Universal and ArcLight, and all these big studios have these relationships with these outlets that give us these movies. But as I said, we're in a new time that requires a new normal, and if people are going that route, then you have to follow the money. So why not do it that way? And again, $561 million loss. That's a hefty chunk of change that companies want to make sure that they recoup. I'm sure AMC is hating life right now, knowing that that's money that could have been in their pockets in 2020. But I guess the silver lining is that everyone's in the same boat. I think that might be the silver lining of COVID in its entirety, is that we're all experiencing this, right? It's not just an isolated incident with just a certain group of people, or it's not just an isolated incident with just one person. This is a global pandemic. This is a global problem. So as weird as it sounds to say that there is some comfort in that, there is a little bit of comfort in that, because like the hashtag says, that we're alone in this together, we're all in this together. Amber, great point. AMC has been pretending that they're fine financially. A lot of people have been pretending that they're fine financially. Places like AT&T, cell phone providers, when they release their numbers, some people are guessing, and a lot of financial publications are saying, "Oh, those are a little bit padded. That's not the real of it." But nobody wants to admit that this has sucked for them. But by admitting that, it's kind of like, well, yeah, we get it. No one's going to flame you, or no one's going to fault you for saying that we have lost money, much like the American public has lost money, much as the working class has lost money, much as everyday people have lost money being unemployed, not having a job, trying to get unemployment, where millions of people are still waiting, especially in the state of California, to get their unemployment benefits. It's okay to say that you've lost some money. We get it. We're there. Pablo, great question. That's a question that people are asking time and time again when it comes to award season next year. How is this going to affect award season? How is this going to affect the Oscars? How is this going to affect the Golden Globes? How is this going to affect the SAG Awards? who knows? Red carpets were a thing in Los Angeles. Red carpets are a thing in the industry. That's where you can have a yummy and delicious taste of the movie. You can hobnob with your favorite stars. You can get the experience there. I mean, Disney does a great job, an incredible, a stellar job of having their red carpets be an immersive experience that is on brand with the movie you're seeing. Like Frozen, they will have a whole winter wonderland made up just for this junket and just for this red carpet. So I think what we will see, what I'm hoping we'll see for the Oscars at least, is streaming services who had a huge showing in 2020, huge showing in 2020, huge showing in 2019 in regards to those movies being seen and lauded and applauded and celebrated by the Academy. By releasing the stuff straight to Netflix, straight to Amazon Prime, straight to Hulu, that will be I'm thinking that will be the new normal, and they might sweep again in the 2021 award season because they did fantastic in the 2020 award season. So I think the Oscars may pivot that way because they really don't have a choice. If the movie never came out, how can they vote on it, right? How can if it was never a thing, how can they make it a thing and during award season? It's a great question, Pablo. That's another great point about having a big theater release for a movie. I would not be surprised if the Academy says, okay, we have to pivot as well. We have to do some kind of amendment to our rules. We have to implement some kind of new guideline that allows us to rate and vote on these movies that did not have a theatrical release. They're going to have to, because there was a handful of movies that bowed at the beginning of the year from January through February, even March, beginning of March, and then everything else, of course, was closed. So who knows? Those movies may have a better chance of even winning. Those actors in those movies and those directors and those crews may have a better chance of even winning Academy Awards because of what has happened prior to COVID. But I think they will have to rethink the voting. The Academy will have to rethink the procedure of which they vote and award these films because of COVID. Hey, Peter. Peter from Seattle. I would love to see. I'm not sure if in Los Angeles the ArcLight is back open again. I know there's three in Los Angeles, but that was one of my favorite movie going experiences because it's just nice, it's luxurious. But I would love to see them reopen. But I do think going forward, people aren't going to be in a rush to get back to movie theaters. They're not. We much like working from home has become something that at first we thought that would never be an everyday thing. That would never be a normal way of doing things. I think viewing and getting things quicker now. We're getting content quicker now. They're releasing movies even quicker now for your home viewing because they know that's where the populace is at. So I think that absolutely is going to be the new normal going forward. And it may be even more, I would say, I don't know, beneficial for these studios. Yes, Amber, I will absolutely miss the fanfare of the red carpets. Red carpets are fun. And connecting with the stars. I remember I was on the John Wick 3 Parabellum red carpet talking to Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry. And there's something just about having that immersive experience with them and talking to them and asking them questions about the movies and seeing their energy in real time that you just don't get from watching a replay on an Access Hollywood or Entertainment Tonight or an E. Being in the thick of it is just, it's electrifying. Pablo, see, that's a great point too. Pablo says, I feel it depends on who you ask. I can see crowded movie theaters in the near future if major companies are okay with risking the lives of their employees. That's in the headlines too. You have people at Amazon, Tyson Chicken, all these corporations that have come under fire from their employees speaking out about the working conditions and them not really taking serious the threat of COVID, brushing it off, saying they've made adjustments, they've made allotments, they've made strides in workplace safety that obviously per the employees isn't true. I think if the movie theaters do a good job of outfitting their movie theaters, of course, with protections, hand sanitizer, things of that nature, I think it'll be safe to go back to movie theaters. I was on set a couple of weeks ago for a television show that I do, and it was incredible how the television industry has returned and the updates they've done for protection. You name it, from your own personal trailer to hand sanitizer everywhere you go to unlimited face masks to people walking with face masks in front of you for you. They're pulling out all the stops because they know that it's cheaper to do that than to not have a show at all. It's, and once the show is done and airs, the revenue from ad dollars and the end result is way more beneficial than paying up front to have all these adjustments and all these, I would say, new ways of doing things done. Amber, that's a great point. It's location, 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 right? Location, location, location. Not every place has been hit as hard as, say, Miami, where I'm at now, or Los Angeles. There are places that haven't had nearly the amount of, I would say, uh, COVID activity as major metropolitan areas. And I think, Albuquerque, New Mexico, my hometown, my mom was telling me that people still aren't wearing masks there. They're acting like everything's okay, nothing's happened. And yet Albuquerque is not really one of the states that has been in the news for having a high COVID death rate or a high COVID infection rate. Anyway, you cut it, you guys. Before I sign off, I just want to say that I think it's great. People want to get back to some kind of business as usual. We want to feel good again. We want to go out to eat. We want to have some shred of our former active life. Not that it's all been stripped away from us, but some shred of something that was before the snap. I call it the snap. When Thanos snapped, that's what COVID was a snap, because overnight our lives changed drastically. So for AMC to be offering ticket prices this cheap, celebrating their 100th birthday, and saying, hey, we're going to open some of these theaters. Come back. Welcome back. Good to see you. Here's what we've done to make sure you're safe. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, you guys. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. Let me know what you guys think. Jason Card here for Haps TV, and I'll talk to you guys soon.